Not much in it between Peter Busanellis and Jake Rutkowski coming into the weekend. Peter Busanellis finishing second on points yesterday. Rutkowski, bit of a dramas, but he will try and fight back, no doubt. 13 laps on the board and we're away on a very damp track this morning. Let's hope that we can get through the day with pretty dry running and that the track will dry out so that we get to see the absolute best of the Rotax Pro Tour here on this magnificent 1,117 metre the Ben Motorsport Park Karting Stadium. Matt Payne bringing you all the action right throughout the course of the day. And of course tonight we'll crown our champions and announce Team Australia, our Team Australia captain, and of course the Jason Richards Memorial winner as well. Working their way through here on the opening circulation. Always providing great entertainment are the Micromax drivers, youngest in the Rotax Pro Tour. Bit of action happening up towards the front as they come back around. These youngsters yesterday drove so well. One stage they went out on slick tyres and it rained just as they hit the track. As now, look at Busanellis up the inside of Burns. And now Ananostiadis wants to make it 3 wide down at turn number 1. And Ananostiadis goes from third through to first in one fell swoop. He leads the way. Busanellis in second. Burns in third. Walton right there with them as well. Actually, it's the second of the Burns Z-Course carts in front of Walton now. Oh, no! The twins have come together and around one goes. So the two Burns twins collect each other. And one is off to the side of the racetrack. That is not going to be a very happy Z-Course team after this one. And Ananostiadis leads the way. Comes around on this huge racetrack. So work their way back to the front straight away. Ananostiadis. He leads the way. Down the front stretch he goes. Into turn number 1. Thanks for being a Concrete Pumping for their support of Micromax this weekend. And Ananostiadis, the fastest driver out there, a 106.095. He did the fastest first sector. Jake Rutkowski, he's on the move. He's in third spot at the moment. Busanellis not showing up on our timing screen, but he's on second on track at the moment. So Busanellis in second spot there, trying to close in on our race leader. To work their way through the Mojo section of the racetrack. Oh, Ananostiadis, he's gone from first back to third here. Back to the front straight away they come. Busanellis in the 46 for Sarah Driver Development. He leads the way. Second spot is Rutkowski. So the two combatants are 1 and 2 at the moment. Down through turn number 1. Busanellis leading away. She had a great deal of maturity yesterday. Took a fine win on slick tyres in wet conditions. It was a lot wetter than what we're seeing right now. And there he is, the 46. Rutkowski right there with him. Yesterday just didn't go the way of Jake Rutkowski. He's looking to fight back here this morning. Keep himself in line for the big points this afternoon in the Race to the Worlds. One driver will represent Team Australia at the World Finals at the end of November from the Micromax ranks. And Ananostiadis back there in third. He's under pressure at the moment from Jensen Burns. Maxie Walton back there in 5th spot. Then Charlie Evans, the next runner out there. Rutkowski at 105, 103. Fastest driver at the moment. Busanellis leads the way though. Oh, Rutkowski all over the back of him. Trying to get through. Down what you'd call a back straightaway. Turns into a bit of a kink. Then his long flowing turns. The Bend Motorsport Park, all part of the brand new facility here in Tailem Bend. Hosted the supercars around 3 weeks ago. Now I've got to move on at the front between Rutkowski and Busanellis. Busanellis holding on to the lead. They come back to the front straight away. Only got 8 laps to go in this pre-final. Of course, the pre-final will set the grid for the final this afternoon as Rutkowski goes up the inside of Busanellis and takes the lead. So we've got a new race leader, Schmick Racing. Number 44 of Jake Rutkowski. He leads at the moment over Peter Busanellis. Ananostiata still holding on to third. Walton's now moved into fourth past Jensen Burns. Charlie Evans at the back of the pack there as they work their way past the new multi-million-dollar international standard race circuit. 7.7 kilometres at its international length. The second longest circuit in the world outside the Nürburgring Nordschleife, the main track. And the karting stadium is well and truly world class. Also designed for drifting and rallycross. So come back down across the start-finish straight. Thanks to B&A Concrete Pumping for their support of Micromax this weekend. Rutkowski trying to pull away from Busanellis here. These two have battled all season long. Rutkowski taking the second, third and fourth rounds of the series. But Busanellis has made sure he's kept it alive coming into this race weekend. Really started to stretch the legs of the number 44 now. Here's Jake Rutkowski. Got a decent lead over Busanellis in second. Good battle starting to form up for third out there now. They're starting to range up onto the rear of James Ananostiadis. Down through turn one they go. So as Rutkowski continues to pull away, the rain starts to drop again. This will really challenge the drivers. They're all on wet tyres anyhow. So back to the front stretch they come. The lap's starting to wind down. We've only got 5 to go in this 13-lap pre-final for Micromax. The battle for third starting to fire up here. Max Walton starting to close in onto the tail of James Ananostiadis. Ananostiadis runs a bit wide. There's Walton all over the tail of the blue energy cart of Ananostiadis. Walton in the Z-Course Cosmic. Looking to have a go here. Up the inside and he moves to third now. So Max Walton started further back. He's chipped his way forward. Got into fourth and now has moved his way into third position. And that opens Ananostiadis up to Burns. That being Jensen Burns. Of course, Jackson's off to the side of the circuit watching. After those two collided a bit earlier on. Good battle here for third, fourth and fifth as they come back around. And Ananostiadis has gone back to third now. Burns up to fourth. Down the front straight away they go. Walton trying to make it up the inside of Burns. He gets through, but that opens it up for Burns to fire back up the inside. Goes back to that 4th spot. The 2 teammates going at it. Ananostiadis has pulled away now in 3rd spot. So the squabbling has opened it up for James Ananostiadis, the Victorian, to be comfortable in 3rd position. Still Burns and Walton going at it side by side. The 3 of them, the 3 Z-Course drivers, have been so entertaining throughout the course of this season. While Burns runs a bit wide, Walton around the outside now for 4th. He takes over that 4th position. Ananostiadis continues to pull away in 3rd. Burns had half a spin and gathers it back up. And he's under control again. Up the front, there's no change. It's still Rutkowski from Busanellis. Down the front stretch goes Ananostiadis. Have really opened up now. That half a lose by Jensen Burns is given Max Walton exactly what he needs. That's lap 10 of our 13 in the books. Hopefully the rain will clear throughout the course of the day and we do get some plentiful dry running, particularly into our grand finals coming up a bit later on. Of course, all to play for with Team Australia spots up for grabs. .105.174 was the last time through for Rutkowski. Fastest lap at the moment is a 104.307 set by Rutkowski. A bit earlier on in the race, obviously with the rain coming down, that's hampered track conditions, slowed the pace up a little bit. So there goes Rutkowski, a race leader. That's the form that we haven't seen from him throughout the course of the day so far, course of the weekend so far. He's back to the top this morning though, ready to fight it out for that spot in Team Australia. Busanellis will try and throw the challenge out to him. Of course, coming under the Serra driver development banner with David Serra's tutelage. Now Max Walton's closing back in on our 3rd place man, James Ananostiadis, as you can see. Ananostiadis doing a terrific job. Took his first Pro Tour heat race victory yesterday. Be very happy with himself. Oh, he's run a bit wide, and that's opened it up for Walton to go right around the outside and move into 3rd position. So that's crucial come the final. Of course, Walton, if he stays in that 3rd spot, will get the inside line down to turn number 1. And here comes Burns now up the inside of Ananostiadis. So he moves into P4. They're still side by side as they come through the final section of turns and onto the front straightaway. Ananostiadis in the slipstream. Burns taking a look over his shoulder to the right of him. Now he's going to try for the switchback. He goes up the inside. So Burns back to 4th spot. We're on the final lap now for our race leader. He goes down through the back section of the circuit. He's got half a lap left remaining as Rutkowski. The battle continuing on for 4th and 5th. But Rutkowski coming into the final section of turns here. In through the final turn now is our race leader. He's got it all over Peter Busanellis as the checkered flag comes out. And Jake Rutkowski gets back to the top. 2nd place will go to Peter Busanellis. Then we're waiting on the battle for 3rd to come through, Max Walton. He gets through for 3rd spot. 4th place will go to Burns with the 9 of Ananostiadis in 5th. Waiting on now for Charlie Evans to come through. That completes our pre-final for Micromax presented by B&A Concrete Pumping.